I can still remember when it first happened. I thought this isn't like me forgetting how to spell words. That Monday afternoon, as I finished writing the office memo, I just couldn't remember how to spell regards. I put it down to a busy first week at work after my maternity leave. After all, I was 35, having my first baby. I just put it down to overloaded baby brain. A few weeks later, I sent a birthday card to my mother. I had to check her address in my address book. My parents still lived in my childhood home, yet I couldn't remember any part of the address. For months, I just put it down to brain freeze from having my daughter in my 30s. It was only when I phoned my husband, Alex. I was lost on the way to the supermarket with Lily screaming. No matter what I did, I couldn't soothe my daughter. It was the first time I felt I couldn't cope. Alex came to collect us that night after we put Lily to bed. Perhaps the doctor could give me something, a boost to make me feel like my old self again. At the doctor's, they ran some tests. They seemed okay, although I admit I struggled with some. Nothing could have prepared me for what the doctor was about to tell me. Someone could have knocked me down with a feather. Mrs. Lance, I'm sorry to tell you, but you have early onset Alzheimer's. I couldn't speak, I just felt numb. I couldn't even think about what I needed to ask. How does Nicola have this? Surely there must be some mistake. She's only 35. My husband spoke for me. Yes, she is young, and it's very rare that a case like this happens. But unfortunately, no adult is 100% safe from Alzheimer's. We drove in silence on the way home, neither of us daring to speak in case we broke down. The following day, we drove to my parents to break the news to them. Alex and I had barely spoken about my diagnosis. I suppose we were both thinking, if we don't address it, then I haven't got it. We pulled up at Mom and Dad's. Alex gave my hand a tight squeeze. It's all going to be fine, he tried to reassure me. I looked at Lily asleep in the back of the car, wondering how long it would be before I forget I have a daughter. Mom could tell I was troubled from the moment I set foot in the living room. Dad also sensed there was something up. I lifted Lily out of the carrier and held her close to my chest. I couldn't speak, my legs were like jelly. How could I break the news to them? It's so lovely to see you. So what brings you here? Asked Mom. Alex had been talking for ages and not getting to the point. I have Alzheimer's, I stammered. Mom's face dropped. There has to be some mistake. Your father and I will pay for a second opinion, won't we, Frank? Mom said with a nervous laugh. Dad was now sitting next to Mom with his arm around her shoulders. Dad didn't speak, he just nodded. Well, the thing is, Anna, Nicola has been feeling very run down lately. She has had lots of tests, my husband said. So I think we would be wasting our time. We didn't stay at Mom and Dad's for long. It sounds selfish, but I couldn't deal with all the questions. The next morning, I decided I was going to make memories while I still could remember. Work had agreed to give me a few days off while I waited to see the company doctor. Can you watch Lily while I go to the shops? Yes, of course. Do you want me to come with you? I knew what he was thinking. What if I get lost again? But I had already set up the GPS. Plus, I decided I wouldn't be driving anymore after today, for the simple fact that I knew I would have to give up driving soon. My first port of call was popping into the camera shop and buying myself a new Polaroid. After that, I went and bought a diary and several scrapbooks. My idea was that as my memory began to fade, my scrapbooks would become my memory. I got a little frustrated when I returned home and realized I had forgotten to buy a whiteboard. 2 weeks later, I gave up work. Forgetting people's names and misspelling words just seemed too stressful. Alex decided to change his shifts so he would be home at the weekend, instead of doing online shopping when Lily was sleeping. I watched quiz game shows or do a crossword. I spent time making lists. It took the best part of 3 days to go through all the photos and make notes on the back of them as to who, where, and when they were taken. I could feel this disease creeping up on me. I imagined a tiny little man sitting on top of my brain, slowly pulling wires out and putting them back in the wrong places.